Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I'm going to show you some interesting stuff in the group today. I think the we were always presented with this gold versus Bitcoin thing, drop gold and all that, and I told you 5 years ago when they were running that campaign that it was not true, that it wasn't going to be gold or Bitcoin or gold or crypto. It was all going to complement each other. We're going to talk about some of that, and also a couple other things you may have never seen before, many of you especially that are new to the party. If you want to join, go to daixrp.com, and you can also join by clicking the join button below any of my YouTube videos. Now folks, this keeps going around. Hackers have stolen more than over 2.1 billion in crypto this year, says Web3 firm Certica. They trick people with fake links, wallet scams. You probably get all the texts pretending to be Coinbase. You get phone calls. It's going crazy right now. Well, there's really two ways to keep. First of all, you can have a hard wallet. You can have all your keys and all that and protect those and never give anybody your keys. But for this industry to grow to the hundreds of trillions of dollars, most people, that is not where most people are going to go. It's not where I'll be. Once you have tokenized bonds and tokenized stocks and all of this, do you really think that some millionaire, somebody worth say $2 to $10 million, do you really think they're going to have a bunch of tokenized stocks and bonds on a ledger, or I don't want to pick on anyone, but on a hard wallet on their phone? It's not happening, folks. For this industry to really scale into the hundreds of trillions of dollars, it's going to be cold storage, institutional grade cold storage. It's going to be the same kind of storage that you've been doing, whether you know it or not, with your stock and bond certificates for years. I've been saying this for a long time. And right now for retail, it's hard to get institutional storage. Caleb and Brown is one of the handful, and I don't really know. I know of one other, and I'll mention that another day, where you can get cold storage. And with cold storage, when you hear of all these hacks, the hacks pretty much all the time are from hot wallets, which means the wallets that are live online and they're the trading wallets. Cold storage is different, and you've got several different. And I was actually, you'll find this interesting. I was on the phone with someone who actually runs an exchange, and they were telling me that hackers can pretty much, they're creative these days. They can pretty much figure out how to get into any exchange that they target. And he was making the point, that's why you want cold storage, institutional grade storage, because they can't get out. They can't get to those things, whereas they could get to these hot wallets. And so anyway, Caleb and Brown, that's one of the many reasons, including the liquidity they have, including having a broker myself that I can actually talk to. Go to xrpwealth589.com if you'd like to open an account. Excuse me. Okay, moving along. The market's boring right now. Nothing to talk about there. But Altcoin Daily, who are Bitcoin maxis, the Bitcoin maxis may hate this, but it's true. 8 made in the USA coins to know in 2025. And who's at the top of the list? That would be XRP. Stablecoin issuer Circle goes public on the NICE at $31 a share, raising $1.1 billion, valuing the stablecoin issue at just over $6 billion. And then here's a video. This guy's talking about the importance of this IPO.
You're exactly right, Stuart. This is a big day in crypto. Circle's a stable coin company, so it means $1 is pegged to one stable coin. And that creates a very interesting scenario because it's actually pegged to $1. And what's what people like? It's a bridge between the crypto world and the actual financial world, and they're bringing all that together at the same time. That actually gives an opportunity for investors to actually bet on crypto and know that there's a dollar on the back end. This is a big IPO because the company is worth $60 billion, and they're also going after a market that's worth $248 billion.
$60 billion? Are we sure that's right?
So it's a huge opportunity to get into crypto and actually do it in a way that fits all the regulatory requirements.
Wait a minute, Ray. All of a sudden, this thing is worth $60 billion. Really? You like it, I take it? You'll buy it?
Well, they're put money into it. So there's also billions of dollars that back the stable coin. It isn't some.
Wait a minute. $31 a share. I think $6 billion. I think that guy was wrong about that. Just over $6 billion. Okay, so you go on Fox Business and you don't know what you're talking about. I was searching around because I was trying to find if the IPO is actually today, and we'll see. Yep, it's the 5th of June. Today's the day. They're priced at $31, 32 million shares. Apparently it's oversubscribed. This guy is making a really good point, but he misses one thing. He's comparing Bitcoin to being like I think he says LeBron James anyway. He's comparing all the crypto to, he's like, you need a team. He's like, Bitcoin, and I think he says LeBron. But anyway, Bitcoin is LeBron, and then you need all the others. And he compares XRP and the others to being like some of the lesser players. Actually, I think it's the opposite. And I think he got one thing wrong. The only problem is Bitcoin can't jump, dribble, or dunk. It can sit on the bench and hope that somebody invests in it.
What I preach to people is that, yes, Bitcoin is amazing, it's the OG, but it's a team. These other coins are just as important too.
I agree with that.
Ethereum's just as important. Solana's important. XRP, SWI, those are all important because in order for the
they're more important.
Top to reach its max, sometimes you need the bottom to rise. And when the bottom rises and people make money, then they'll rotate. So like everyone's just as important. You know what I'm saying? Like look at Bitcoin, look at it as like the LeBron James. And you look at Ethereum as Steph Curry. Then Solana is the Kevin.
I would say XRP as Michael Jordan.
Durant, right? All those people are important for the business of basketball. So the business of blockchain, everyone still is.
XRP. Now, here, this is Paul Barron interviewing Matt Hogan. I met both of these guys backstage at XRP Las Vegas, and this is Paul Barron's interview. I guess it was from XRP Las Vegas. He had his own little setup.
Next layer of ETFs coming through, XRP, Solana, etc. How close do you think we are on seeing those really?
I can't speak on any specific filing because, of course, we have filings live at the SEC, but I think we're making progress. You have all the indications that we're on track. What do I mean by that? We're starting to see regulated futures trade. We're starting to see the SEC consider more innovative things. We're getting to the point in the timeline where the SEC has to say yes or no. So I'm hopeful we'll see major unlocks. And I will say this, when I talk to institutional investors, they're excited to look beyond Bitcoin. Many of them have exposure to Bitcoin, and they're happy about that. It's a great hedge against fiat debasement. It's a great hedge against debt and deficits. But what else can blockchains do? They can do amazing things on stablecoins, tokenization, etc. And that means broadening your exposure. So I'm hopeful we'll get there this year from the SEC's perspective. And I think the institutional demand will be there for these other non-Bitcoin exposures because these are markets that people are very excited about.
Do you think there's anything that could hold this back?
Well, Washington can always fumble it at the 1 yard line. I mean, how many times have we seen that? So I'm very optimistic about the stablecoin bill, but it's not signed into law yet. That would be a significant setback. You could see the SEC be more conservative. Again, I'm very optimistic. I think the data is there. I think the rationale is there. But I have definitely learned over the years, Paul, you can't trust Washington until it's done. So I'm keeping a hawk eye on Washington to make sure they stay on the path of doing the right thing for investors and the right thing for America. I think they will, but let's prove it before we celebrate.
I agree. And look at this. Coinbase has launched its Wrapped XRP, CB XRP, and Dogecoin, CB Doge on Base. Progress. And here's those politicians he was talking about.
Thank you very much, Chairman Hill. Thank you for your leadership in introducing the Clarity Act, and thank you for your leadership in bringing us together in a nonpartisan way, members on both sides of the aisle who've already come to co-sponsor the Clarity Act. The golden age of digital assets is here, and today's hearing moves us closer to ensuring that America wins the Web3 race. The Clarity Act will unleash innovation and ensure U.S. dominance in digital assets while protecting consumers from fraud. At the same time, we must preserve the dynamic and democratic and democratizing nature of this technology. Many of the most transformative projects were born in basements and dorm rooms, not in law firms and boardrooms. They were born in incubators across the country. And we have an opportunity to make sure that that spirit of creativity and entrepreneurship continues to thrive under a regulatory framework that is modern, supportive of innovation, and clear. Thank you very much, Chairman Hill. Thank you for your leadership.
All right, we've got a few of these. Here's another clip where they're talking about this.
Leading our effort, and Ranking Member Craig and Ranking Member Davis for joining Chairman Johnson, me, and other colleagues on both sides of the aisle in introducing the Clarity Act. I am pleased to see the committee's long-standing tradition of leading together in a bipartisan manner continue. It is incumbent on us to embrace this opportunity and finally bring certainty to the users and developers of this technology. The United States is the beating heart of global finance and innovation. Let me thank the Trump administration for elevating this issue and recognizing the urgency of action in the digital asset space, and the agencies who offered technical assistance. Years ago, other nations put pen to paper and created and enacted frameworks seeking to establish themselves as hubs for the development of the digital asset ecosystem. It is time that we do our work here in the United States too, and implement a framework for trusted, reliable, and useful markets for digital assets. I look forward to the work ahead in getting the Clarity Act signed into law. Again, thank to each of our witnesses for their willingness to participate in today's hearing, and I look forward to our discussion. And with that, I'd like to welcome.
Okay, we got a couple of more here. Okay.
Yes, those conversations are underway. I certainly respect the process that we're addressing. But right now, this really isn't about policy, nor is it process. We're just trying to get floor time right now to get this processed. We have broad agreement, Kaylee, with respect to the content of this stablecoin legislation, My Genius Act. And this is going to, I think, take us into the 21st century in terms of upgrading our payment systems. It's going to have very desirable effects, taking the U.S. economy into the digital assets arena, keeping innovation here, lowering risk here in America, and putting in place guardrails that will protect consumers, because every one of these stablecoins will be backed up dollar for dollar with U.S. Treasuries. Very positive outcome here. We've got very strong support.
All right, so that sounds good. And then here's our old buddy, Senator Loomis.
Our next priority is market structure, determining what is a commodity and should be under the jurisdiction of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, what is a security and should fall under the jurisdiction of the Securities Exchange Commission. So market structure is going to be our next focus. We're going to begin that next week, and so we want there to be no interruption between stablecoins and market structure legislation as we continue to move forward.
She's acting like this Genius Act is going to happen, folks. I hope she's right. Okay, we're going to go into the group. Go to daixrp.com to join the Patreon. Click the join button below any of these videos. Click to join the YouTube. We're going to talk about gold. It was, I bet you for 5+ years, the whole crypto market, I never understood this. They were acting like it was a choice between Bitcoin and gold, and I was like, no. Gold's going to underpin this thing, and crypto is going to live alongside it. Now, for the last 2 years, Brad Combs has invited gold people to be on the, and you don't see this in crypto. He's invited gold people to be on stage at XRP Las Vegas. Now, I think the Bitcoin conference did it with Peter Schiff a year ago, but I think he's a Bitcoin guy. There's a reason he doesn't talk about anything but Bitcoin, and he's found he can get views by talking bad about Bitcoin, and they let him get on and do debates and all that. So I think that's a different story altogether. But at XRP Las Vegas, we've welcomed the gold bugs because, and I think that some of them are starting to figure out how XRP and gold might work together. I'm going to show you some of that. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Here we go.